been hearing, and they'll get a toe for quite a long way from Sturlasson, do we think?
Yes, I think Sturlasson for Kieran Cotter is very good gate speed. Oisin Murphy here.
And joins up.
Tears of a Clown still out the back. And Vince Lamore into stall 10. And not too many more. Tears of a Clown 14, 20 Blue Storm just about set. The Betfred 3-year-old dash handicap. Last handler away. And they're off racing. Vince Lamore down the centre, yellow with the red disc. Grand Lad goes forward. Due for Luck is towards the stand side. Green sleeves and yellow cap going forward. Also Curious Rover with Enchanting. Grand Lad just the leader. Blue Jacket, Vince Lamore, McLovin. And they're chased then behind runners by Dr. Vubi. Mashardi in the purple jacket on the right. Split the Profit from Rogue Enforcer. Myconian is further back, so Tears of a Clown. Against the rail still is Due for Luck chasing Curious Rover. Back in the field to Blue Storm. Also at the back the Coffee Pod, and also Mart is off the pace. They run down towards the final furlong and a half. Enchanting, Curious Rover, Sturlasson coming through, red jacket, Blue Storm and Grand Lad and Vince Lamore. Enchanting challenged now by Blue Storm. Sturlasson on the near side as they race up towards the line. Blue Storm down the centre, Sturlasson on the near side, and Blue Storm will win. Blue Storm from Sturlasson. Due for Luck back in third, then Enchanting. Billy Webster finishing well far side, followed by Vince Lamore, Curious Rover, and back to Mart and Grand Lad.
20 beat 17 and 19. Those were the stalls involved. The pace was high, and Blue Storm it was who came out on top. Rossa Ryan for Gemma Tutty, to whom we spoke beforehand. Sturlasson's run a wonderful race for Kieran Cotter and Oisin Murphy. Due for Luck, well, he got the split today, but he was hanging and finished third. So the horses who were a little bit short of fortune in the Chester race have finished first and third here, bisected by the Irish Challenger. All the action unfolding this side, Martin.
Yeah, very much so. And then Enchanting as well in stall 15, from stall 15, has finished back in fourth position. So it was very much that you needed to be in the high numbers. Curious Rover is another of them as well that finishes in fifth in the end. So it was completely dominated by the high numbers, and the highest of all has managed to win. Rossa Ryan managing to find a gap on Blue Storm, and he needed a little bit of luck. He wasn't the best into his stride, but Rossa managed to pick a passage on him, and he's come home strongly.
Yeah, Due for Luck actually broke one of the best of all, but Jason Hart seemed at pains to get him covered up a little bit. And you sort of wonder whether he'd have been better freewheeling, but I guess he knows the horse better than I do.
He's a little bit awkward, isn't he, Due for Luck? He's got more ability than he's racing, but if he'd have been as willing as Blue Storm was to go forward at the point when the jockey was asking him to go forward.
Yeah, he was hanging, wasn't he?
Look at him now, he's yellow cap nearest the rail. Jason wants to get him in this side of Curious Rover, but he just doesn't go through the gears because he's always lugging left, lugging in behind and making it difficult. When Jason does pull his stick through, he does then go forward, but it just took him too long to get organised.
And a good performance from Blue Storm, who himself didn't get the best of fortune last time either, including closely matched horses. Stillasson's run a great race, Jane.
He has, and I expected him to make the run. He didn't. He actually came from behind, Due for Luck on the stand side rail, but he ran straight and through, just wasn't good enough on the day to catch Blue Storm. Credit to Tom Stanley, who got Gemma Tutty pre-race, and she gave us the encouragement to think this guy had a big chance under Rossa Ryan. And
now Tears of a Clown has come down in the closing stages of this race. Henry Candy's filly by Pearl Secret, Trevor Whelan, was on board, something that we weren't able to see in real time. Tears of a Clown came down late. Clearly news will follow on Tears of a Clown and indeed Trevor Whelan.